Hi everybody, I'm getting ready to prepare fully loaded baked potatoes. I'm gonna top them with chopped beef and bacon. It's a full meal deal. Now I love this recipe because you can feed a crowd or just two, and it's super delicious. I know you're gonna love it. Today I'm gonna show you how to make them step by step. Let's get started. So I'm gonna start out with my potatoes because these are gonna go in the oven and they're gonna be in there for about 1 hour. Now I've got 4 of them. These are big ones, see? And they're nice and clean. I already scrubbed them well. I'm gonna start out by punching some holes in them. I'm gonna use this big fork like this. Just a few holes. You know, you don't have to fuss so much with them. And that's good. They're all punched out. Now these are russet potatoes, but you can use any kind of potato that you want. But these are perfect for baking. Now I've got some olive oil right here. You don't have to overdo it because you don't want them to be dripping, but you just want to make sure that you rub them really well with the olive oil like this. See? All 4. And that's good. I have them all rubbed down. Now I'm going to sprinkle some kosher salt on them really well. This will stick real nice. Now I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Now once I sprinkle the kosher salt on them like this, I'm gonna set it right here on this rack. I'm gonna put it on a rack over a cookie sheet. They don't drip or anything, but I don't like to take a chance. And I always put a piece of aluminum foil because if anything is gonna drip or break off or whatever, I don't like a mess. Very easy. I'm gonna set them in there for 1 hour. Now after the hour, you wanna poke them with a knife and make sure they're nice and soft. If you feel that they need a little bit more time, like another 5 or 10 minutes, you go ahead and add another 5 or 10 minutes, okay? So I'll see you in just a little bit. So while my potatoes are in the oven, I'm gonna prepare my beef and bacon topping, see? Now I'm gonna be using 1 1/4 pound of milanesa. Now milanesa is top round steak that has been sliced really thin, just like this, see? And it's got just a little bit of marbling and it's perfect. Now, if you can't find milanesa, you can use any kind of beef that you want. Beef is good. Now I'm gonna slice this really nice and thin. And you don't want the strips too long. You don't want them too short. I'm gonna cut them about like this. See? And I think that's perfect because they'll shrink up a little bit. Now I put them in the freezer for just a few minutes. So they're semi-frozen. The reason I put them in the freezer is because they get nice and firm. And then they're super easy to cut. If you don't put them in the freezer, then you know they're wiggling around and then it makes it harder for you. Once I cut the strips, I cut them in half like this, and here they are. I think that's gonna be perfect. If you wanna cut them a little smaller, that's fine. So now I'm gonna continue the process. And that's good. I've got my meat all cut up. Now I'm gonna season it. I'm gonna be using my homemade seasoned salt. And that's because it's got everything in it. But if you don't have any seasoned salt, you can just use regular salt and pepper, a little onion powder, garlic powder, whatever you like. Just so long as it has a good flavor, it'll be just fine. And that's good. Now I'm gonna put it back right here and we can take all this to the stove. So I'm ready to prepare my beef and bacon. I'm gonna be using this cast iron skillet. Now I'm gonna add my bacon in here. I've got my heat set on medium low. Now I want this bacon to release some of its grease. Now if you put the heat up too high, you'll burn the bacon and it'll never have a chance to release its grease. So that's why you wanna put it in when it's medium low. And that's the grease that we want because that's what's gonna give our meat topping that delicious flavor. So I'm gonna move it around like this until it releases just enough grease. Now as you can see, the bacon has released its grease right here. And it'll probably release a little bit more, which is fine because we've got a good amount of meat. So now I'm gonna add my beef in here. Now I'm gonna put the beef in place now that I've raised the temperature up so that it'll sear a little bit. So it's starting to sear really well. There's still a little bit of pink left over in there, and it's at this time that I'm gonna add my onions. I have half of an onion, and I've cut it julienne style like this. I'm gonna continue moving it around until the onions are nice and gold also, just like this. Now, as you can see, my beef and onions are perfect. Look at that. And the bacon is nice and golden. Now, the onion liquid released the fond from the bottom and has given everything a beautiful color. Now I'm gonna turn off the heat. I'm gonna remove everything out of the skillet, put it in a bowl, and cover it up until I'm ready to use it. So my potatoes are ready. Now after 1 hour, I poked them with a knife and I left them in there 5 more minutes. Now they're soft and perfect. Now I've got a fork right here. I'm going to puncture across because that'll be easy to split them open. See? Just like this. Then across like that. And I'm gonna do the same to all of them. Now I'm gonna open them up. Now they're very hot, but if you do it real quick, it'll work. See, look at that. You wanna be real careful. Now with a spoon, I'm gonna go in here and start carving it out very gently. You don't wanna get too close to the wall because you don't wanna tear it. Very gently like this. Now I'm going to add a little bit of cheese in here now that it's hot. And I'm gonna add some butter. I'm gonna add some sour cream in here. And I'm gonna start mixing them in here really well. These are gonna be so good. And this is perfect. This would be a good time for you to add some pepper, add some salt if you'd like. You know, the baked potatoes can really take the salt. And now I'm gonna add my ground beef, bacon, and onion topping right on top. This is a full meal deal. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna put a little more cheese on top. I'm gonna put them back in the oven just for a few minutes until the cheese melts. So you wanna keep an eye on them. So I'll see you in a little bit. My potatoes are ready. The cheese is nice and melted. And I'm gonna use my mitts because these are very hot. Right here. Now I'm gonna top it with some sour cream right on top. And I've got some green onions. Now we're gonna be having these with charro beans. I prepared these earlier, but you can serve them with anything you want on the side. Salad, anything is good. Now this is really hot, but it's time for the taste test. Mmm. 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 My Ron is looking at me. Are you ready for it, honey?
I'm ready.
He's ready. So this is my absolutely delicious, fully loaded baked potato. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment and tell me what you think. Thank you.